Go ahead, Bob, Nate, Jeff.
Bob Pockerstein Daily. Do you carry any less momentum from a win when it comes right before a restrictor plate race? Because it's not like anything you did last week can help you this week.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I sort of believe in the momentum thing, and sometimes I don't. I mean, I more go off of how we're running, not necessarily where we're always finishing, but we've been running better. Certainly this weekend's totally different. I mean, I almost look at it in a way you kind of look at it like not an off weekend, but kind of, you know what I mean? It's nothing like what we did last week, and it's nothing like we're going to do when we go back to racing at Richmond. You know, it's just all by itself, especially with this new two-car thing. So these 4 races are just to me they're just a total crapshoot, and you don't know what's going to happen or who's going to have a shot at it or anything. So I'm interested to get in a race and see if I can get hooked up with Greg or get hooked up with somebody and make it work a little longer. In the 150s, Kevin and I got together and worked really well, and then he blew up on lap 10 or 12 of the 500, and that kind of got us behind for the day. So it's really odd having to rely on somebody and have them rely on you that much to make it work.
Go ahead, Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Was there anything going that long without winning? Was there anything this week that like you forgot happens after a win or anything like that? And I know that your kids are too young. Your 2 youngest are too young to really appreciate yet. But did it mean anything more to sort of do it with your family being a little bit bigger now than it was 2 years ago?
The only thing different this week is people actually want to talk to me. I'm just kidding. Nothing was. I mean, it was nothing that I guess you forgot. I mean, it was a fun week. You got to go had lunch with the engine shop guys and our race shop guys, and kind of did some of that stuff. With the team, and everybody was probably hit a little spring in their step this week. It was fun to win that. Katie and the kids were there. I wish it was a day race so Kaylin could have been awake because she's not quite 2, but she understands the racing thing sort of, and what I do when she sees you on TV and all that stuff. So I think she would have liked that, but I think waking her up at midnight would have been a disaster. So, but she sort of gets it, I guess. But yeah, I'm glad they were there. That was cool.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Jeff Gluck from SBNation.com. Matt, I'm doing a story on Matthew Hansen, who's the Crown Royal race winner. Did you meet him at Fontana? Is that correct?
I did meet him just for a minute.
What's your impression of him and his story, and what do you know about him, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, all them stories are unbelievable. I mean, they're neat to read the stories and actually meet the people behind the stories. And didn't really get to meet Matthew very much yet. I'm looking forward to. We always do a lot of stuff leading up to the race in Richmond after next weekend. So I'm looking forward to spending some time with him and his family down there. So all the stories are amazing. I think it's a really cool thing that Crown Royal does to probably make all of us, and the fans and anybody thinks about the race and why it's named that or whatever, realize, what the military, what their families always sacrifice. Because, I mean, we can talk about it and you see the wars on TV and all that, but you don't really, unless you really know somebody or really hear somebody's story and see how it really affects them, you probably don't, realize the magnitude of what they do and what they, the suffering and what they all go through than when you get to know them. So I'm looking forward to spending a week with them down in Richmond and getting to know them guys a little better.
Any additional questions? We've got one here from Dustin.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Matt, first of all, how do you assess how things have gone the first 7 races for your team? And secondly, at this time last year, you were second in points. Can you be too good too soon for the end of the season?
No. Well, that's the last one first. No, you can't ever be. I don't think you can ever run too good. I mean, it's not like you start off strong and you get tired or you wear out your good cars or any. I mean, so no, I don't believe in that. I think the first part of our season really couldn't have been a lot better. I mean, Daytona was a disaster, for us, but it's just such a different kind of racing, and it's not really doesn't. I don't think how you do there reflects at all racing for a championship or what you do every week or winning or any of that. So. And other than that, it's been pretty good. We didn't perform very good at Phoenix, but everywhere else we've done really well. We just if we went to have that flat at Vegas, I felt like we had a pretty dominant car there, and just once we got behind, it was just so hard to get caught back up. It just seems like it keeps getting harder and harder to do that every year. If you get yourself behind on track position. But other than that, I mean, my team's been doing great. Our cars have been really fast, and more weeks than not, we've been getting finishes at least as good as we've ran or better. In a few cases. Yeah.
But why do you feel like, some people say that the season's so long that it's difficult to maintain the success? I mean, there have been a number of times you've seen guys who start off the season well and, for whatever reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess when I think back through most of the years I've been racing, we seem to always start off more times than not pretty strong. I guess most of our wins probably happened within the first 5 or 6 weeks of the season. That's the way it's almost always been. But there has been seasons. There was one year going in the chase. We won the last 2 races right before the chase started, and we didn't finish the chase strong for whatever reason. But we were running like we were going to have a real shot. So I mean, I don't know. The season is. It's kind of like the season never quits, except in the off season, you're not sure who learned what or how everybody's going to come out of the box. And for whatever reason, more times than not, we usually start the season very strong. I don't know why that is, or maybe why we don't finish quite as strong, or why other people finish stronger. I don't know why that is. I remember they used to talk about Tony used to, I think, finish so strong and start so slow. I don't know why that is. I wish we did, because you want to be able to run, you want to be able to run at your best every week.
Any other questions for Matt? Got one back here. Go ahead, Lee.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Does this season feel at all to you like it felt when you won the last championship? I mean, a lot of people are just saying, you so masterfully ran that race last week. I mean, it just seems so effortless, and you kind of joked around at the end of the race you were getting a little nervous, as drivers haven't won for a while too, but right. Everybody said you put that race together so well. You worked so well with Jimmy. Does it feel at all like your championship year?
Well, first of all, I can hardly remember 2 weeks ago, much less 8 years ago or 9 years ago, however long it's been. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, every year is different. I mean, that year we were really consistent. It was obviously under a totally different point system with different cars and rules and all that stuff. And so many things have changed since then. But certainly, the team dynamic is different than it was then with Robbie. It's different, but it certainly feels like we're more competitive, and it feels like things have come just a little bit easier. There's only so hard you can try, but it seems like sometimes, no matter what, even when you're running good, you don't get good finishes. And this year there's even been, Bristol, we probably had a 10th or 12th place car, and through pit stops and restarts and all that stuff, we ended up finishing 4th. And we've had a few of them races where even when things didn't go right, we figured out how to get a good finish. Now it's early in the season, but that's always really important if you're going to race for a championship, is to always overachieve as far as your finishes go, and so far that feels good, so hopefully we can keep that part of it up. Yep.
Anything else for Matt? Well, Matt, good luck this weekend at Talladega.
Thank you very much.